When it comes to Western anime, we've seen a lot of voice actors become embroiled in scandals, whether they're being accused of being terrible people, and sometimes they've put themselves in the middle of controversies. Last year, a bunch of Funimation voice actors threw hypocritical tantrums on social media complaining about race in anime. The whole KickVic situation is still going on, and over the past few weeks, Daman Mills has been the center of anime industry talk because of the terrible accusations made against him. But now the situation has gotten even worse because anime industry members tried to pressure sites like Anime News Network into removing coverage of the accusations against Mills. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this Bounding into Comics article. It says anime industry members reportedly attempted to pressure Anime News Network into removing the coverage of the accusations against Daman Mills. And I've talked about the situation in live streams, but not in videos. And I wanted to quickly wrap up the situation for those of you who might be hearing about it for the first time. It says Funimation voice actor Daman Mills, perhaps best known for his roles in Neon Genesis Evangelion Rebuild film series, and of course, Dragon Ball Super, has been accused by an anonymous man of having molested him when he was just 15 years old. The accusations against Mills were first brought to light when the alleged victim published a lengthy statement that began with the outright declaration that Daman Mills molested me. It says this all happened between 2012 and 2015. I was never 18 during any of this. I was a 15-year-old boy, a minor, and Daman a 19-year-old adult. Now, I had a couple of years ago talked about Daman Mills because he was one of the people who was for KickVic. He was someone who said, believe all victims, no matter what they say, no matter what their story, there's truth in victims' stories. He was someone who was very against Vic and someone who was very for believe all victims. But, going back to the first article, it says following an anonymous individual's leveling and retraction of his claims that Funimation anime dub voice actor Daman Mills had molested him when he was just 15 years old, a new development alleges that the entire situation saw unethical and direct interference by industry members who sought to have the original coverage of the story erased from public memory. Now, I wish that I could say I was surprised reading this. Like, I was shocked that there were people in the industry, maybe that were his friends, maybe just people that worked with him, maybe people that were just looking out for his best interests, that were interfering in this situation. But I'm not that surprised. There are some amazing voice actors out there. There are just some amazing people out there in general. But a lot of the voice actors that we hear about, like Daman Mills, are just terrible people. It says on March 19th, Anime News Network executive editor Lindsay Loveridge, who brought the anonymous man's claims to widespread attention after speaking with him earlier this month, took to her personal Twitter account to announced that she had something to say about the recent articles because it bothers me enough that I have trouble sleeping. Scrolling down, during the week of the retraction and the subsequent admission of fabrication, a voice actor and ADR director attempted to get ANN to take our articles down. The person stated that if we didn't, Mills may commit suicide and we would have to write about that. This is an absolutely terrible situation because, first of all, this individual, Lindsay Loveridge, simply covered the news that hit her desk. She just covered a story that someone came to her with. That's it. She is not responsible for anything that is going on right now. She simply published an article with the accusations being made against Mills. It's as simple as that. So for people to direct message and email this individual saying, hey, you know, you might be covering this story now, but if you don't remove it, he could do something terrible, like commit suicide, and you would have to write about that, is absolutely disgusting. It says, the day of the retraction, Duncan, who was the individual, that's the anonymous name they're going by, was doxxed, and if the screenshot is authentic, the person that did so probably already knew who he was, or at the very least shared a mutual friend with him on Facebook. I can say with certainty that the legal communications between Duncan Mills and his lawyer were shared within the industry. The ADR director / VA had information about those communications that would only be gained by reading them. This includes Duncan's email. It says, I know his email was shared because Duncan asked me if I had shared it. Of course I had not. It is possible but not provable that he got the same communications ANN did about removing the articles, that doing so could result in a suicide. I always try to be fair when it comes to accusations because I do genuinely believe in innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, truly. If someone was hurt or felt threatened by anyone, I do believe that action should be taken against them 100%. But Daman Mills years ago had basically said to believe all victims, and if he himself wants people to do that without seeing any proof or evidence, why would I give him the benefit of the doubt? He's part of the problem saying innocent until proven guilty shouldn't be upheld, and that people are guilty until proven innocent. But Loveridge also said the direct interference by industry members is especially unfortunate because it feeds into a larger toxic narrative. So does the admission of fabrication. Frankly, I don't trust a large number of people anymore, but I do trust my gut. I was often able to helm these articles because I don't have allegiance to anyone outside of my own integrity, and regardless of what others may think, I still have that. Have a good weekend. A giant problem here is the double standards with the voice actors that are vocal on social media. These people canceled Vic as soon as accusations with no proof were put online. They were rallying for him to be blacklisted from the industry and wanted his career ruined, yet with Daman Mills, someone who has said believe all victims, they've been silent and won't talk about it. If you want to talk about one situation, talk about them all or everyone can see through your BS. Clearly he's friends with the most important people or the right people, and now they're all silent on these accusations. It continues saying, given the roundabout and ever-developing nature of this situation, it should be explicitly noted that Loveridge's claim of unprofessional behavior from the Western anime industry does not involve putting any pressure on Duncan to recant, which for all intents and purposes appears to have been done from his own accord, but rather specifically their attempts to have her pull articles concerning Mills from publication. I'm sure there will be updates to this in the near future. Maybe we'll even hear about some of these industry individuals who were pressuring outlets into removing coverage of these accusations, but for now that's all that I really had to discuss. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel, and of course if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.